Prime time local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. The government of Saskatchewan gave Lloydminster the green light to proceed with Phase 2 of the Reopen Saskatchewan plan starting on May 19th. The City of Lloydminster reacted in today's COVID-19 update.
We're here for the COVID-19 update for the City of Lloydminster. Today is Tuesday, May 11, 2020. We have a few questions from Primetime Local News and 1061 The Goat. We'll start with Primetime Local News. Question 1. What is the city's reaction to the Government of Saskatchewan's announcement that Lloydminster can proceed with Phase 2 of the Reopen Saskatchewan plan beginning Tuesday, May 19?
So the recent announcement from the Government of Saskatchewan was welcome news for the City of Lloydminster. It's been 2 months since the lockdown started in our city, and we are cautiously optimistic that things will be returning to normal as some of these non-allowable businesses will start to resume service and public-facing service. As we continue to navigate these challenges, we must remember as a city that reopening is contingent upon maintaining manageable COVID-19 case numbers. As a community, we must remain diligent in protecting ourselves and those around us.
And question 2, with Mother's Day this past weekend, was there an increase in violations of mass gatherings or any other violations under the public health orders?
So I am not aware of any increase in violations or any cases of mass gathering over the Mother's Day weekend. Again, if there is any complaints or concerns, please forward them to the Lloydminster RCMP.
We'll move on to 1061 The Goat. They have 3 questions. Question 1, are businesses prepared to follow health guidelines as they are set to reopen on May 19?
Since before reopening of Phase 1 on May 11th and now Phase 2 for May 19th, the province has compiled a detailed list of guidelines that retail businesses must follow in reopening. The businesses included in Phase 1 and 2, opening is at the discretion of the business owner based on their risk assessment and ability to operate safely for protecting both their staff and their customers.
Next question, how is the city preparing for opening in Phase 2 and further leading into Phase 3?
The city continues to work with its business community, offering assistance and guidance as needed for those who are falling under allowable services included in Phase 2. The City of Lloydminster continually updates its business toolkit on the City of Lloydminster website. Phase 3 hasn't been announced by the Government of Saskatchewan as of yet, but as we learn more about the release date, we'll be giving more information to our business community.
And their last question here, can you clarify on the provincial matter here with Alberta and Saskatchewan have similar reopening plans with some of the stages days apart. Are all businesses in the city to follow the Saskatchewan reopening plan?
So yes, the City of Lloydminster in its entirety is following the steps outlined by the Government of Saskatchewan in the Reopen Saskatchewan plan. So all businesses within our community, regardless of what side of the border they're on, must follow the Reopen Saskatchewan plan, and further information can be found on the City of Lloydminster website.
City Council has finalized this year's mill rate, and Eric Bay has more on how it compares to last year's.
Yesterday, Lloydminster City Council approved the 2020 property tax mill rate and taxable assessment bylaw. The total taxable assessment is up 3.3% compared to 2019. However, the residential and non-residential mill rate decreased by 4.15% and 5.27% respectively. Yesterday's meeting was not originally scheduled, but was created to ensure that notices would be received by the end of the month.
Basically, let's just go through a quick time frame. Traditionally, the mill rate or the tax notices go out before the end of May, and this is a unique year. But we've tried to keep people some semblance of order, so for that to happen, the motion had to, or the vote had to happen today, so we can get it to the printers. So in turn, residents will see their tax notices arrive before the end of May. I suspect they're very, very early June, but they should be there before the end of May. Tax notices are due upon receipt. Again, asking taxpayers, those that can afford to pay their taxes, to pay their tax bills. But at the same time, we're fully cognizant of the issues that our communities and residents and businesses are facing. And we have made provisions in the tax bylaw for the 2020 that should they not be able to pay taxes immediately, they have until November 10th before a penalty will be assessed. That's traditionally usually the end of June or early July is what was originally on the books for this year, but with the change that was made some time ago by council, that moves it to the 10th of November. I encourage residents to pay taxes when they can after the tax notice arrives, whatever percentage they can pay, and when the bill arrives would be terrific. If they can pay 10% a month and finish it off by the end of November, or 20% per month, whatever works for them would be appreciated, because it just helps ensure that the city can meet its obligations financially and avoid using that line of credit.
Assessments will be mailed May 22nd, and this year's payment deadline is November 10th, 2020. More information can be found at lloydtaxes.ca. Eric Bay, Primetime Local News.
Synergy Credit Union recently announced that they are donating over $29,000 to local nonprofits, and Jasmine King spoke with Glenn Stang, the CEO of Synergy Credit Union, on what went into this donation.
I'm joined here with Glenn Stang, and he is the CEO of Synergy Credit Union. Now, Synergy recently announced they are donating over $29,000 to assist nonprofits and food banks. What went into this decision?
Well, a couple of things, actually. We noticed today that many businesses are closed. They're not making money today. So for a lot of our nonprofits locally, they're not going to be able to get the normal funding that they would normally get. So we decided to step up. In addition, we recognize that there's also less things happening that we would normally get behind, support, and contribute money towards. So this is just a way of redirecting that spend to, again, the community's greatest needs, because that's what credit unions do. We identify what's important to our communities and we get behind it in a big way.
And can you go into a bit of detail on who will be receiving this donation?
Many local nonprofits. Kind of try to go off the top of my memory, but Salvation Army, Olive Tree, the Men's Shelter, the Interval Home. There'll be a lot of small community food banks. Trying to remember, St. Walburg has one, Denzel has one, and those are the organizations that we're trying to support, really fill their cupboards so that anybody that's in need coming to the food banks have something to get. They'll be their shelves will be full. So.
And why did you think it was important to also support food banks and non-for-profits that are not in Lloydminster?
Because we actually serve a greater area. So we have 10 branches spread out through the northwest part of Saskatchewan. And we wanted to make sure that we were treating all our communities fair and equal. So we decided to reach out and find out what was available in all of those communities. And to our surprise, every community has a food bank or has a place to go for the needy. And that's why we got behind it, so that we were distributing our resources effectively.
And Synergy also made a donation to the LRHF earlier on. Why do you feel like now is a more important time than ever to be helping the community?
Well, again, that's what credit unions do, right? We invest in the communities that we serve. And so, yeah, the Lloydminster Regional Health Foundation, we just heard one day that they were, in need of funds to purchase personal protective equipment for their staff. And when you think about it, their staff today are our heroes. We see that in the news, the media, all the time. They're the frontline people. They're helping people, deal with their illness and get healthy again. So it just, I think it saddened all our staff, our board, And we know that our membership will get really behind us in a big way to make the right investment to protect them and their families going forward. So that was an easy decision, very easy.
And why did you feel it was also important to not just support maybe 2 or 3 not-for-profits, but a lot around the border city?
Again, it's just spreading out that money, making sure that we can, impact as many people as possible. Not everybody goes to the same place. Again, there's so many needy people. Just think about all those new people that are unemployed, not making any money. These are really tough times. So again, we just wanted to make sure that we could get out there, make as much contact with the vulnerable and the needy of our community as possible.
And what has been the reaction from these places so far?
A great deal of gratitude. We hear a lot of thank yous, surprise, which is really great. Again, anything we can do to help right now and ease some of that pressure and tension that exists as a result of COVID and other things, that's what we need to do. We're also very grateful for the support of some of the local businesses like the Co-op, AG Foods, Graham Foods. What they did is they topped up our donation and made the dollars that we made available to these companies stretch even farther. So pretty happy about that.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Glenn.
Oh, you're welcome. Take care.
Thank you.
Stay with us, more primetime local news after the break. I'm very pleased to be joined with Dr. Nikki Jamal from Wayside Dental. Dr. Jamal, thanks a lot for joining me once again here.
Hey, nice to be here.
Of course, and of course, one of the big things with Alberta announcing that dentist office can now resume, and of course with the Lloydminster finally being part of that phase 1, they also came open as well. So just talk about just your overall thoughts of now being able to reopen sooner rather than later.
Well, it's exciting for everyone. We all want to get back to work. We want to continue to serve our patients, and we're unsure what May 14th brings. On May 14th, we're allowed to continue on with almost full regular service, and so we're looking forward to getting back at it, I guess.
Now, is there going to be any new procedures for the patients that come in, whether they are new or regular, and also for your staff as well, in terms of how they handle patients now going forward?
Absolutely. There's been a lot of changes. In the office, of course, my number one concern is safety of my patients, safety of my staff, and safety of my community. And so we've taken some drastic measures. We're keeping everything extremely clean. Our waiting room is closed. There's no magazines or anything anywhere. So we get people to check in from their cars so that when they arrive to their appointment, they call us, and then we'll wave them in when it's time for them to come in. We check their temperature. We sterilize everything, and then they come to the back. We see what needs to be done, and we have high-powered air purifiers everywhere, and we're just doing everything we can to keep everything very clean and while maintaining serious social distancing amongst all of us. So I'm exciting to see how it all works out.
Now, are you going to be taking new patients? Obviously, this is a bit of a difficult time for many offices across the country here, but are new patients still going to be welcomed and following that kind of same screening process in terms of being asked those questions that they normally would get when you are getting a new patient?
Yeah, absolutely, because there's so many people that haven't left their house in the last, I guess, 5-6 weeks, and now they're in pain. Like, we need to see these people, and our office is open to see these people. Of course, we're having priority for patients in pain to help get everything back to normal. And so I guess I'm just trying to say, if you're in pain, let us know, and we can see how we can help you.
Now, of course, there's going to be a lot more protective gear in many offices across the country. Is there going to be more of an increased cost to your patients in terms of, maybe supporting those costs?
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about that amongst the media. Like, we have to wear N95 masks, we have gowns, wear head coverings, face shields. I do not have any plans to change our fees. I feel like this is keeping our staff safe as well as keeping our patients safe. So I do not have any plans to change our fees. And to be fair to other dentists, I know a lot of dentists are changing their fees, but I have no plans to change mine.
Now, of course, there's going to be a lot of backlog and there's going to be a lot of work to catch up on. How confident are you and your team there that you can get that done, in a timely manner despite this whole pandemic happening?
Yeah, well, I really pride ourselves in our dentists and our amazing team. Our treatment coordinators always do a fantastic job and getting people in pain in. We have the most amazing hygienists to make sure our gum health goes in line with our full body health. And I like to think our dentists are pretty darn good too, including myself. But I can't comment on that, I guess.
Well, as well as just for the hygienist speaking, I know there's been, with having a certain amount of people in an office, is there going to be a limited amount of hygienists allowed, or is it going to go back to kind of full swing as it was normal?
Yeah, so like we were saying, there are like strict social distancing measures in place, and so we will be like staggering patients, staggering lunches, not having a whole bunch of patients in the building at once. We do have all those regulations in place and are following all the guidelines set forth by Alberta Health Services in terms of maintaining patient safety.
Now, I guess just lastly, Dr. Jamal, have you heard from people in the community that, that are your patients that are, raring to kind of, get their teeth clean? I know, like myself, I definitely am in need of a dentist appointment right away here. So have you had a chance to chat, to kind of hear word of on the street here about people, the excitement being able to go back?
Yeah, people are excited. People want to get their fillings fixed before, it turns into a more serious issue. People want to get their teeth cleaned. And we will do that for them, but we have to maintain like safety for our patients and safety for our community. So we will be maintaining our strict guidelines and we will, get to all of it and do the best we can, but we just want to maintain safety for our community. So we will do it in a responsible manner.
Absolutely. Well, Dr. Jamal, I really appreciate your time as always, joining us here on Primetime Local News. Thanks again once for your time, and hopefully everything goes well for you on May 14th there.
I appreciate the love, and I'm happy for Lloydminster to get back on track here.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
Well, welcome back to this edition of Pet Project This Week, everyone. I'm joined here once again by Becca Lawrence from the Lloydminster and District SPCA. How are you doing today, Becca?
I'm pretty good. And yourself?
I'm doing great, thanks. So who do we got here? I see we got some kitties. What? Tell me all about them. I'm excited already.
Yeah, this is Ling and Sheng Po. So we named all of them after Mulan characters. Mm-hmm. So Mom, of course, is Mulan. And then the rest we have already adopted out Mushu and Cricky, I think his name was, the cricket. I never realized he really had a name, but yeah. But yeah, so there's 2 more that are at their surgeries today, so there were 6 altogether, and they've just been out in foster for the last couple months.
Oh, nice. And how are they with people? They seem to be obviously pretty active. They're running around. They seem to enjoy playing. Are they? They're still in the kitten phase, I imagine.
Oh yeah, they're only about 3 months old. The one doesn't really want to be on camera right now, but yeah, no, they really love people, and they just want to have fun all the time. And they're curious little kittens, of course.
That's wonderful. And so how are you guys doing for numbers other than that? Like, do you guys have lots of other cats? How are your dogs looking?
Yeah, we were seeing all of us girls were saying it's officially the beginning of kitten season. So on Friday we had a couple of litters come in, and then on Sunday night we had two mama cats have their babies. So altogether there's 42 kittens in our care. and 10 of those kittens are in foster right now. So majority of them are here, but we'll be sending out those 2 for sure into foster so they can grow up.
Oh, wow. So if anybody wants a kitten,
Yeah.
now's the time to stop by because you have a lot of options to pick from.
Yes, yeah, majority of them, it's funny, majority of them seem to be black and white or black and gray. So where the kittens that were just born have added a splash of color finally. So in a couple months we'll have some colorful ones.
Nice, that's wonderful. And as far as dogs go, do you guys still have lots of dogs or?
Yeah, we're not too bad. Actually, a couple of our longer time ones, they finally got adopted, so that's been nice. And then, yeah, so we just have the 3 up on the floor and a couple in the back. So we're really happy with our dogs. Like we were kind of getting a little bit fuller, but yeah, we did a few adoptions this weekend, so that was nice.
Nice, that's wonderful. And I know that right now, you know, it's hard to plan out events and things like that, but do you guys have any fundraisers or, you know, kind of anything coming up? Are you planning anything at the moment? Anything anybody can do to maybe help you guys out or?
Yeah, I mean, right now we're really relying on some donations as well too, but you know, we're trying to fill out some grants and things like that just to kind of help ourselves as well too. So yeah, like you said, it's a bit tough to kind of try and organize something that's, you know, people can't go to. So so it's a little bit of a struggle, but we're getting by.
Beautiful. Okay, and just before we leave, Becca, if somebody wants to stop by and, you know, check out one of these kittens, you know, play with them for a little bit, maybe take them home, how do they do that? How do they get in contact with you guys, you know, with this whole social distancing thing going on?
Yeah, so we are booking by appointment, so we can only we're trying to have just the one customer in per time. So, yeah, so we just basically call us at our 780-875-2809, and you can book an appointment and come and see if you're interested in adopting. Majority of the time for visiting, we're kind of lowering that a little bit more. Just so we're, you know, just to prevent any, you know, cross-contamination, things like that. So yeah, we're just strictly booking for strays and adoptions right now.
Beautiful. All right. Well, thank you so much. It's lovely to talk to you once again, Becca, and I suppose we'll see you again next week for another pet project.
Yeah.
All right. Take care. Thank you.
Yeah.
Manage your waste and recyclables with Quick Pick Waste Disposal. 100% locally owned and proud to serve and support the communities we call home. Quick Pick, the convenient solution to avoid pollution.
Joining me today is Lloydminster Bobcats forward as well as Lloydminster local, Javen Leslie. Javen, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Javen, how's your off-season been? You know, off-season workouts and whatnot, obviously with COVID-19, have changed quite a bit. What have you been doing?
Well, I've been lucky enough to have a gym, access to a gym at our shop. So I've been working out there, and with Curtis Johnson with Cujo Conditioning, he's been giving me a program to follow. So I've been able to stay in shape and been able to keep busy. And yeah, it hasn't been too bad. It's a lot different than obviously years in the past, but not too bad.
Now, Javen, for yourself, rookie season last year really started coming on. You were getting more ice time, playing in more roles. How are you hoping to continue that into next season?
Yeah, obviously I ended the year, I think, a lot stronger than I started. Really started to get used to the speed and the game at the junior level. I'm really looking forward to next year. I'm very confident there will be a season, but yeah, it's just going to be a lot of hard training. As soon as we're able to get back on the ice, I'm just going to have to put every second of my time into it.
Now, head coach Nigel Dubé, he really started playing you on the penalty killing units. Is your defensive play something that you take pride in?
Yeah, it's always been something I've been a little bit stronger in. I haven't been able to put up, you know, the points that some players can. So I really try to focus on, you know, being a role player, someone who can really focus on that defensive effort and be a lockdown guy.
Now, next year, you guys had a lot of rookies and younger players last season, but you're bringing a lot back, only losing one player from last year's team in Chance Adrian. Is that exciting for you guys, having that core group of guys still together?
Yeah, we got along very well this year. You know, obviously the season didn't go as we hoped, but we got a lot to work on. You know, we're all coming back. We're all excited. We're very confident in what we can do. And yeah, I'm very confident in this group.
Is there any expectations from yourself? I know it's pretty early on to be setting expectations, but do you have any for next year?
Well, first we got to make the playoffs, and once we make the playoffs, anything can happen from there. You know, it's 2 different seasons. The regular season, there's the playoffs, and anything can happen.
Now, Javen, you know, if there were a couple things that you could possibly work on from last season to this year, what would they be for yourself?
Just skating, you know, being faster, being quicker, making quicker decisions with the puck. Just all around, you always got to improve on your game as a whole. Like my shot can always be better. My skating can always be better. Yeah, it's not really one thing. It's just all around my game. I'd like to get better at everything so I can be a lot more dominant.
And then finally, for yourself, as a local guy, what's it been like getting to be a part of the Lloydminster Bobcats, especially, you know, kids come out and watch them and, you know, sort of idolize you guys. What has it been like for yourself?
It's unbelievable, you know, being able to stay in Lloyd and, you know, even my family can just come watch me every game. It's awesome. You know, there's a lot of young kids that, you know, I've known, family, friends, and, you know, get to come and see me, and it really is cool. There's really not many words to explain it, but it's awesome.
Well, Javen, I appreciate you taking this time with me, and best of luck with the rest of your off season.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome back. Taking a quick look here at your 7-day forecast. 15 degrees tomorrow will be our daytime high. 16 on Thursday, where we could get a little bit more sun. We'll have a fairly cooler morning on Friday with a low of -4 degrees. 14 degrees on Friday, though, is the daytime high. Then it gets a little bit warmer on Saturday and clears up a little bit more with that high of 18 degrees, but a 25% chance we could see some showers, and that's going to be the trend of the rest of the week here. So 19 on Sunday, 17 on Monday with a low of 8 degrees, but some fairly cloudy skies heading into Tuesday as well with a high of 13 and a low of -1.